Griffin, a brilliant but eccentric scientist, achieves the impossible invisibility. He reveled in his newfound power, a freedom unlike any other. The world, it seemed, was his for the taking. He could move unseen, unheard, a ghost in the machine of society. The potential, as he saw it, was limitless. His joy, however, was short-lived. The novelty of invisibility wore thin, replaced by a chilling realization. His isolation was absolute. Griffin, the Invisible Man, was a man alone.
Survival was a constant struggle. Food, warmth, shelter, basic needs became monumental challenges. I couldn't show my face, couldn't risk being seen. Exposure meant capture, imprisonment, the scrutiny of a world that wouldn't understand. The cold was my constant companion. I couldn't wear clothes, couldn't find comfort from the elements. Each breath was a visible puff of vapor, betraying my presence to the world. Fear became a way of life, a constant knot in my stomach. Desperate times called for desperate measures. Once a man of science, I turned to theft. I stole to survive, each act chipping away at my humanity. I justified my actions as necessary, but the guilt gnawed at me.
His mental state deteriorated. The isolation, the fear, the guilt, it all took a toll. He became erratic, unpredictable. His temper flared, his patience thin. Griffin was losing himself, his grip on sanity slipping away.
In a moment of desperation, when all seemed lost and the weight of his actions bore down on him, Griffin reached out to Dr. Kemp, an old acquaintance from medical school. He had no one else to turn to, and the memories of their past friendship gave him a glimmer of hope. He sought refuge, understanding, a way out of the abyss. Griffin believed that Kemp, with his medical expertise and their shared history, could provide the answers he so desperately needed.
Kemp, you have to help me. I'm losing control. I don't know what's happening to me, but I can't do this alone.
But his trust was misplaced. The bond they once shared was not enough to overcome the fear and horror that Kemp felt. Kemp, horrified by what Griffin had become, betrayed him. The sight of his old friend in such a state was too much to bear.
I can't help you, Griffin. You're a danger to everyone, including yourself. I'm sorry, but I have to protect myself and others.
The betrayal cut deep. Griffin, already teetering on the edge, snapped. The rejection from the one person he thought he could trust pushed him over the brink. He vowed revenge, his anger consuming him. The sense of betrayal festered within him, turning his desperation into a burning rage. He became a danger to himself and others, a force of destruction unleashed upon the world. Griffin's descent into madness was complete, and the world would feel the wrath of his broken trust. News of the Invisible Man spread like wildfire, igniting a wave of panic and uncertainty throughout the village. The once peaceful community was now on edge, with whispers of the unseen threat echoing in every corner. The villagers, gripped by fear, armed themselves with whatever they could find. Sticks, torches, and makeshift weapons became their tools of defense. The sense of dread was palpable as they prepared for the unknown. They hunted him relentlessly, their determination fueled by a mix of fear and anger. The search parties moved through the foggy forest, their torches casting eerie shadows as they vowed to stop him at any cost.
We can't let him terrorize us any longer. We must stand together and protect our village.
Yeah, we need to protect our families. Our children deserve to sleep without fear.
The hunt was on. Griffin, exhausted and wounded, became the prey. He was outnumbered, outmatched, and the relentless pursuit left him with nowhere to hide. His invisibility, once his shield, now felt like a curse. The very power that had given him an edge now isolated him, making him a target. It isolated him, made him a ghost in a world that both feared and hunted him. The village, once his home, had turned into a hostile territory where every shadow was a threat. The confrontation was inevitable. Griffin had made too many enemies and his actions had finally caught up with him. Griffin, cornered and desperate, fought back with the fury of a trapped animal. His strength and determination were unmatched, but so were the odds against him. But it was a losing battle. Despite his relentless efforts, the sheer number of his adversaries overwhelmed him. He was captured, his reign of terror brought to an end. The authorities had finally managed to subdue the man who had once seemed invincible.
No, this can't be the end, Griffin's voice echoed in the cold air, filled with disbelief and despair.
In the end, Griffin's invisibility proved to be his undoing. What once was his greatest strength had become his fatal weakness. It isolated him, twisted him, turned him into a monster. The power he sought had consumed him, leaving nothing but a shell of the man he once was. His story serves as a cautionary tale, a reminder that unchecked ambition and the pursuit of power can lead to a tragic downfall. Griffin's legacy is a stark warning to all who dare to tread the same path.